Let's take a look at this article that was written many years ago by Randy Lee in the Christian Journal Society News. To be or not to be a human being. From Ballantyne's Law Dictionary. Now, Ballantyne's is the law dictionary, I believe, that Congress uses. Most everyday lawyers and stuff uses Black's Law Dictionary, but Ballantyne's, I believe, is the version of a law dictionary that the U.S. Congress uses. So this is from Ballantyne's Law Dictionary, 1948. Now keep in mind kind of what Humpty Dumpty's talking about. As we change the meaning of words over time, we dumb down the society. And in a lot of the law dictionaries I've noticed, I've got several versions of law dictionaries, and I've used Bouvier's from the 1856 online edition, and you can kind of see some differences there. But I have several versions of Black's Law Dictionary, and they haven't really changed the definition that much. But what they've done is they've used obfuscation through more convoluted definitions so that it's harder for you to grasp the actual meaning. If you're just a common everyday Joe. And that's what's sad. So here we go back to 1948 in the dictionary that Congress uses, Ballantyne's Law Dictionary, for this definition. Human being is defined as follows. See monster. What? From the same dictionary. Okay, so now we go to monster. Monster is defined, quote, a human being by birth, but in some part resembling a lower animal. What? Okay, that's kind of weird. This is an unusual definition, but like all law dictionaries on this subject, a non-definition. It only states that a human being is a higher animal. It is not found anywhere in Scripture that a Christian man or woman is an animal or part of the animal kingdom. This being the case, then, what exactly is a human being? From the Oxford New English Dictionary of 1901, human is defined as, in the third position, belonging or relative to man as distinguished from God or superhuman beings, pertaining to the sphere or faculties of man with implication of limitation or inferiority, mundane, secular, often opposed to divine. Okay, secular. Being the important word here, we look to the multi-definitions in the 1992 Random House Webster's College Dictionary. Secular, adjective, 1, of or pertaining to worldly things or to things not regarded as sacred, temporal. 2, not relating to or concerned with religion, opposed to sacred. 3, concerned with non-religious subjects, not belonging to a religious order, not bound by monastic vows. Now, if you recall in some previous videos, I kind of talked about some of this. The other form of law that we're talking about where your freedoms comes from here. And most people would ascribe this to be a religious book, but I also have a video out here in this playlist telling you what religion really is. It's not an ideology, it's what you do in service to others and in service to your God, your sovereign power, your lawgiver, your ruling authority, whether that's the state or the God of creation. Okay, all right, so let's see here. Could it be that human means ungodly? And we just saw all this, worldly stuff, temporal stuff, not concerned with religion, not concerned with religious order, not bound by monastic vows. What are your monastic vows? Your pledges of allegiance to this other foreign sovereign that has this law book. Okay. Could it be that human means ungodly? From the same dictionary, a look at a combination of two, secular humanism. Noun, any set of beliefs that promotes human values without specific allusion to religious doctrines. And secularism, noun, secular spirit or tendency, especially a system of political or social philosophy that rejects all forms of religious faith or worship. Now again, religion is what you do in service to your sovereign power and to your neighbors, and how you provide foreign aid to others, other nations foreign to yours in their time of need. Faith is allegiance, fidelity. Worship is homage, obeisance, obedience to the laws of your sovereign. These have very specific secular and meanings in law, depending on how you behave to your God, which is your sovereign power. The state is either your God or the God of creation is your God. You have a choice. Which one? The view that public education or other matters of civil policy should be conducted without the influence of religious beliefs. Oh, if only people knew what religion was. Public school is a form of religion. It's a form of, you don't want to educate your children. They're really not your children, excuse me. They're the state's children, and you send them to 10th Plank public schools because those are the state's kids going to the state's school. He's the father. The state is the father of the children, and they're going to the state schools. So that's a religious benefit within the public religious sphere of the civil state, and all that public religion is financed through compelled taxation on property taxes because you don't own that property. It's a tribute. Ouch. So you're practicing religion, but you don't call it religion. You call it, public education or social welfare. All these social justice warriors out here are these secular human beings that are monsters, that are lower, resembling a lower animal, that look to the state as their God only and want the state to provide all the benefits of a father to them. And they want to destroy any kind of recognition of this God and the rights and the law that go along here if you follow the responsibilities, obligations, and duties this law imposes upon you. Remember, kids, rights follow responsibilities. If you don't perform on your responsibilities, your duties and obligations under the sovereign that you've pledged allegiance to by keeping that law, then you don't get access to those rights. Where do your unalienable and inalienable rights originate? Right here. Under that civil system, you just get privileges, immunities, franchises called civil rights. Okay, so in conjunction with this, from Collier's New Dictionary of the English Language, 1928, humanitarian is defined, noun, a philanthropist, an anti-Trinitarian who rejects the doctrine of Christ's divinity, a perfectionist. This is what religious goofballs call legalistic, meaning you can earn salvation by works. Now, nobody who follows the Bible, even if you keep the Torah, you're not keeping the Torah for your salvation. You're keeping the Torah after you have been promised salvation as your obedience to this sovereign that you're now looking to. If you went and expatriated and joined another body politic, would you, from being accepted into that civil family, let's say you're an American and you want to expatriate and become a Panamanian or a German or whatever. If you expatriate and get naturalized as a Panamanian, are you now expected to keep the laws of Panama? Of course you are, because that's your God now. Okay, so anybody who rejects the doctrine of Christ's divinity, they're trying to perfect themselves. That's what humanism is. It's we're gonna be God. Remember, what's the motto of the United States? E pluribus unum.